everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Betsy and I make makeup and beauty history videos. And if this is the first video of mine that you're watching, then I will leave a playlist of every single time period that I've done so far in the description for you. It's really hard to talk with this black lip paint on, so pardon if I don't make a lot of sense in this video. But if you love makeup or you love history, or if like me you love both combined, then please subscribe so you don't miss where we travel to next. But today, Kit 000 Kitu has requested that we do some Vietnamese beauty history, so that's what we're doing today. Today we are travelling to the Lê Dynasty specifically. As you can see, their beauty standards were quite interesting. So, and I'm putting out my usual disclaimer, I'm not an expert, I do these videos purely for fun. I don't get paid to do them by any means or anything. So there may be some things that I do say in this that are slightly incorrect. Please feel free to correct me if they are, as long as we all keep our comments nice and pleasant to each other. If I catch an attitude in my comment section, I'm just going to delete it because I can't be arsed dealing with that. And obviously I cannot get every single one of these looks that I do to be as absolutely historically accurate as I would like to with my modern products. But if you would like a little visual representation of what makeup in the Vietnamese Lê Dynasty might have looked like, then please keep watching. The Lê Dynasty was a long-ruling Vietnamese dynasty from 1428 to 1789 and is often marked as a golden age in Vietnamese history, marked by independence and prosperity, although it had an interruption from 1527 until 1533 when the Mac dynasty seized control. While specific ancient Vietnamese records on makeup are fairly scarce, art and statues from the time period suggest the use of cosmetic. The use of traditional Eastern medicine principles was common in the Vietnamese royal court. This approach obviously emphasizes a very holistic approach to skincare and overall well-being, using ingredients like green tea, ginseng and red bean powder for their therapeutic properties. Now I couldn't find much information on whether this was simply ingested or whether they used it as actual skincare, but today I decided to make a little face mask out of green tea and ginseng powder, just in case this was the case. One notable product was flower bud powder from Mrs. Tongue, which was made from kaolin, rainwater and 12 premium herbs. And this powder was kept in a secret room within the Forbidden Palace, specifically for the queen, princesses and concubines. Traditional Vietnamese proverbs and common sayings often describe the ideal woman as having very, very fair skin. Like most time periods up until this point, pale skin was the beauty standard because it meant that you were rich enough to sit inside leisurely all day and not have a labour-intensive job out in the sun. I feel like I've said that about 8,000 times in the last few weeks, but that's just because it was just a common practice within the world. So today as my base, I decided to make myself look a little bit paler with a white concealer. To my knowledge, opaque, like foundation-like concoctions weren't used at the time, so I didn't want this to be too opaque. I didn't want it to look like I had concealer on, I just wanted to make myself look a little bit paler than I actually am. A common traditional saying in Vietnamese as well loosely translates to face beautiful like a flower, skin powdered, meaning that emphasis was placed on a very, very matte, pale, porcelain-like complexion. A white, heavily powdered face was the common beauty standard, often achieved by using rice powder or potentially cerussite lead among the wealthy, despite the health risks that were known of at this time, but people continued to use it anyway. Actually, following on from this, for the first time in history, blusher was used and was available. However, it wasn't overall trendy to use loads and loads of it. The beauty standard was to have a very round, oval-shaped face. Therefore, any kind of colouring or shaping to the face would have taken away from this effect that they were trying to achieve. However, if one did choose to use it, rouge was likely made from natural materials such as safflower or cinnabar, aka mercury sulfide, and was placed ever so subtly to the cheeks to enhance the sort of rosy glow that they were trying to achieve. But again, they didn't want to add any shaping to the face, they wanted to keep it very round. Judging from references from the later Lê Dynasty art and also from the Nguyen Dynasty, long, thin and slightly oval-shaped eyebrows were the trend, actually up until the mid-20th century in Vietnam. Another common Vietnamese saying, again roughly translates to eyebrows like a weeping willow leaf and eyes like ram leaves, meaning the beauty standard was to have slightly melancholic eyes that were long and narrow. And traditionally the two main common eyeliner styles in Vietnam are either called phoenix eyes or coriander leaf eyes, emphasizing that eyes should also be pointing upwards rather than downturned. Now, while there is evidence that the people of Vietnam at this time did use eyeliner, the specific material used specifically in the Lê Dynasty isn't fully clear. It's a fairly safe assumption that this may have been with kohl, as most other historical time periods up until this point did use kohl as their eyeliner, but again the recorded makeup products of this time period are fairly scarce, so you will have to do your own research on that one, I'm afraid. I tried to copy both eyeliner styles for this. Obviously my eyes are very, very round. They are not the beauty standard of ancient Vietnam. However, I also tried to keep it quite subtle because in the Northern Dynasty specifically, they kept their makeup very, very natural. So I decided to use a powder instead so that it wasn't too harsh, and I tried to combine both eyeliner styles for this. Judging from the photo that I found of it, they kind of peak in the middle here and then like swoop outwards like that, so that's what I tried to copy today. Obviously it doesn't look fully accurate on me, again because I have very, very round eyes, but did my best on my eye shape, right? And most importantly, the star of the show, we've been building to this the whole video. Teeth blackening was also a traditional Vietnamese practice that symbolized beauty and a rite of passage for young girls. Lasting up to a week, this involved dyeing a girl's teeth with shellac dye, though individual rituals and techniques did vary. Women with blackened teeth were considered proper and elegant women. White teeth were believed to resemble the teeth of demons, so blackened teeth like this were believed to ward demons off. Actually, having black teeth was the beauty standard in Vietnam for a very, very long time, again up until the early 20th century. Small red lips were favoured in this slightly rosebud kind of shape. This is the specific statue that I copied my lip shape from today, but the rosebud shape was to give a soft, elegant and feminine look to their beauty. And more than likely they would have also used the same material that they used on their cheeks for this, either the safflower or the cinnabar. And while not strictly makeup, there is another common Vietnamese saying that again loosely translates to teeth and hair are the most important features to define attractiveness and beauty in women, meaning for centuries now Vietnamese women have highly prized their hair care and their dental routine. And in the Lê Dynasty specifically, it was trendy for women to wear their hair down actually, and to keep it as long and shiny as possible. And obviously having dark, long, shiny hair is a genetic feature of people of Vietnam, but it was one that was so highly celebrated at the time as well. And while again not strictly makeup, it is known that the city of Hue, a later imperial capital of the Nguyen dynasty, is situated on the Perfume River because flowers from upriver orchards fell into the water, giving it a fresh perfume-like aroma. Perfumes related to the Lê Dynasty and the Nguyen dynasty's imperial courts have been documented, suggesting a cultural scent appreciation in the region's royal history. However, I couldn't find much information on personal scents and the ingredients that they used for this. However, there is evidence that they did wear perfume at the time. But thank you very much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this. I really enjoyed filming it. I love it when cultures have like a slightly different to Western beauty standard style. I think it's so much more interesting than just like boring makeup. I actually also don't hate how the black teeth look, you know? I think it's cute, especially with the red lip. I have no idea how I'm gonna get this off though, but that's a problem for future me. But as always, I will leave a playlist of every single time period that I've done so far in the description for you. Either way, I will also link this black tooth paint that I used in the description as well, just in case you want to recreate this. I don't know. I actually got a lot of this information from another YouTube video that I found. I will link that in the description as well. I'm really sorry I can't pronounce her name, but she has also done a video on Lê Dynasty beauty standard, and I did get a lot of my information from her, so I just wanted to credit her really quickly. And yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching. Leave any suggestions for any future time periods you really want to see next in the description for me, and I will try and get around to doing that. And yeah, thanks for watching, and hopefully I will see you in my next video as well. Bye!